Purchasing generators from low-cost countries presents both potential benefits and significant considerations. Firstly, lower acquisition costs are a major draw, as manufacturers in countries like China and Korea often offer generators at substantially reduced prices compared to American manufacturers. Secondly, a wide range of options is typically available, with these manufacturers providing diverse models and sizes to meet various requirements. However, several crucial factors must be carefully evaluated. 1. Cost and delivery time should be thoroughly investigated. Request detailed quotations from reputable manufacturers in these countries and meticulously inquire about delivery timelines, being mindful of potential delays inherent in international shipping. 2. Service and support infrastructure is critical. Determine the availability of local service and support options for the specific generator model within your geographical area. Assess the expertise and responsiveness of the manufacturer's support team to ensure reliable assistance when needed. 3. Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, compliance is non-negotiable. Rigorously ensure that the generator adheres to all applicable EPA emissions regulations for your specific region or state. Demand documentation from the manufacturer that unequivocally verifies compliance with these standards. 4. Quality control is paramount. Conduct in-depth research into the reputation and quality standards upheld by potential manufacturers. Consider requesting samples or, ideally, visiting their facilities to conduct a first-hand assessment of their manufacturing capabilities and quality assurance processes. 5. Warranty and maintenance considerations are essential for long-term reliability. Scrutinize the warranty coverage and terms offered by the manufacturer, paying close attention to the duration and scope of protection. Verify the ready availability of spare parts and maintenance services within your location to minimize downtime and ensure continued operation. 6. Hidden costs can significantly impact the overall cost effectiveness. Factor in all potential additional costs, including import duties, taxes, and the expense of shipping insurance. Be prepared for potential delays and added expenses that may arise during the customs clearance process. 7. The risk of counterfeits or substandard quality is a serious concern. Exercise extreme caution when dealing with unknown manufacturers, as there is a risk of encountering low quality or even counterfeit products. Diligently verify the authenticity and specifications of the generator before committing to a purchase. Contrasting these advantages and risks, American manufacturers present a different set of considerations. Higher acquisition costs are typically associated with American manufacturers due to elevated production and labor costs, which translate into more expensive generators. Also, limited model options. American manufacturers may offer a comparatively narrow range of generator models compared to their foreign counterparts. In conclusion, purchasing generators from low-cost countries can indeed unlock significant cost savings, but it necessitates a comprehensive and meticulous due diligence process. Carefully consider the factors outlined above, and only engage with reputable manufacturers who can provide assurances of compliance, quality, and sustained long-term support. If the potential risks are judged to outweigh the anticipated benefits, it is prudent to recommend sourcing the generator from an American manufacturer, prioritizing reliability and ease of service. Remember to meticulously check that the generator adheres to all applicable EPA regulations for the location where it will be used. This is especially important when considering generators from outside the United States, as their emission standards may differ. Insist on documentation from the manufacturer verifying EPA compliance and consult with local regulatory agencies to confirm adherence to all requirements. Thoroughly examine the warranty terms and conditions offered by the manufacturer. Pay close attention to the duration of the warranty, what components are covered, and any exclusions that may apply. Understand the process for making warranty claims and ensure that the manufacturer has a responsive and reliable service network in your area. Investigate the availability of spare parts for the generator model you are considering. Determine whether the manufacturer stocks spare parts locally or if they need to be imported. Long lead times for spare parts can result in extended downtime and disruptions to your power supply. Before making a purchase decision, request references from other customers who have purchased generators from the same manufacturer. Contact these references to inquire about their experiences with the generator's performance, reliability, and the manufacturer's service and support. If possible, arrange a visit to a facility where the generator is currently in operation. This will allow you to observe the generator firsthand, assess its performance under load, and speak with the operators about their experiences. Be prepared to pay import duties, taxes, and other fees when importing a generator from a foreign country. These costs can significantly increase the overall price of the generator, so it is essential to factor them into your budget. Work with a reputable customs broker to ensure that the generator is cleared through customs smoothly and efficiently. Inquire about the availability of training programs for your staff on the operation and maintenance of the generator. Proper training can help to ensure that the generator is operated safely and efficiently and can also extend its lifespan. Review the manufacturer's documentation and manuals to understand the generator's specifications, operating procedures, and maintenance requirements. Keep these documents readily accessible for reference by your staff. Develop a comprehensive maintenance plan for the generator, including regular inspections, oil changes, filter replacements, and other preventative maintenance tasks. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for maintenance intervals and procedures. Consider entering into a service agreement with the manufacturer or a qualified service provider. A service agreement can provide you with priority access to service and support, as well as regular maintenance, inspections, and repairs. Be aware of the potential for voltage fluctuations and power outages during generator operation. Install surge protection devices to protect sensitive equipment from damage. Ensure that the generator is properly grounded to prevent electrical hazards. Implement a remote monitoring system to track the generator's performance, fuel consumption, and other key parameters. Remote monitoring can help you to identify potential problems early on and prevent costly downtime. Store an adequate supply of fuel for the generator, taking into account your anticipated power needs and the duration of potential power outages. Store the fuel in a safe and secure location, away from sources of ignition. Regularly test the generator under load to ensure that it is operating properly and can meet your power requirements. Simulate a power outage to test the generator's ability to start up and take over the load seamlessly. Keep a log of all generator maintenance, repairs, and testing activities. This log can be helpful for troubleshooting problems and tracking the generator's performance over time. Ensure that your staff is familiar with emergency procedures for operating the generator in the event of a power outage. Conduct regular drills to practice these procedures and ensure that everyone knows what to do. Consider purchasing a backup generator to provide redundancy in case of a failure of the primary generator. A backup generator can help to ensure that your critical operations are not disrupted by power outages. Consult with a qualified electrical engineer to ensure that the generator is properly installed and integrated into your electrical system. A professional installation can help to prevent electrical hazards and ensure that the generator operates safely and efficiently. Obtain all necessary permits and approvals from local authorities before installing and operating the generator. Comply with all applicable regulations and codes to avoid fines and penalties. Inform your neighbors and local emergency services of your plans to install and operate a generator. This can help to avoid misunderstandings and ensure that they are aware of your backup power capabilities. If you are considering purchasing a generator from a low-cost country, be sure to conduct thorough research and due diligence to ensure that you are getting a quality product that meets your needs. Evaluate the long-term costs and benefits of purchasing from a low-cost country versus an American manufacturer before making a decision. Ensure that the generator is properly maintained and operated to maximize its lifespan and reliability. Purchasing generators from low-cost countries presents a complex decision-making process. Firstly, lower acquisition costs are a primary incentive, where manufacturers in China and Korea offer generators at prices often significantly lower than their American counterparts. This potential cost savings is alluring, especially for budget-conscious projects. Secondly, A wide array of options exists from Chinese and Korean manufacturers, presenting diverse generator models and sizes to fulfill various specific needs. This extensive selection can be advantageous in finding a generator that precisely aligns with the project's power requirements. However, countervailing these advantages are key considerations. One is cost and delivery times. Obtaining thorough quotations from trustworthy manufacturers in China and Korea is essential. They should incorporate detailed scrutiny of delivery schedules, acknowledging the potential for hold-ups due to international shipping logistics. 2 is service and support. Ascertaining the accessibility of reliable local service and support for the chosen generator is non-negotiable. Evaluate the expertise and responsiveness of the manufacturer's support personnel, guaranteeing dependable assistance when necessary. 3 is Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, compliance. Verifying that the generator satisfies EPA emissions guidelines pertinent to the specific operational region is an absolute mandate. Insist on obtaining validated documentation from the manufacturer affirming conformity with these regulations. 4 is quality control. Conducting thorough assessments of the standing and quality benchmarks of prospective manufacturers is imperative. This entails scrutinizing samples or conducting site visits to their facilities to evaluate their production skills. 5 is warranty and maintenance. Obtaining explicit details regarding the warranty conditions and coverage provided by the manufacturer is indispensable. It is important to confirm the accessibility of spare components and maintenance amenities within the project's vicinity, ensuring long-term supportability. 6 is hidden costs. Accounting for supplementary costs like import levies, tariffs, and shipping insurance is crucial. It should be understood that potential delays and added expenses resulting from customs procedures should be anticipated and factored into the overall budget. 7 is risk of counterfeits or poor quality. Proceeding cautiously with obscure manufacturers is prudent due to the possibility of encountering inferior or imitation products. Rigorously authenticating the generator's specifications and legitimacy before acquisition is vital. In contrast, selecting American manufacturers presents another set of factors. More elevated acquisition expenses are generally linked to American manufacturers, resulting from heightened production and labor outlays, leading to more costly generators. Less extensive model selections may be a consideration, as American manufacturers may present a more confined selection of generator models when juxtaposed with foreign entities. In summation, procuring generators from cost-effective countries holds the promise of considerable financial advantages, yet necessitates thorough due diligence. Thoroughly examine the previously mentioned aspects and align with reputable manufacturers to ensure adherence, excellence, and consistent long-term support. If the inherent risks overshadow the anticipated gains, it is judicious to advocate sourcing the generator from an American manufacturer, thereby emphasizing dependability and simplified maintenance protocols. Prior to procurement, it is critically important to authenticate the generator's alignment with regional environmental norms. This includes, but is not limited to, confirming adherence to standards set forth by entities like the EPA or similar regulatory bodies. Moreover, it is vital to scrutinize the generator's stated noise pollution levels to guarantee compliance with neighborhood ordinances and ecological directives. Also, it is indispensable to ensure that the generator fulfills the local electrical codes and safety criteria. This involves considerations like suitable grounding procedures, overload safeguards, and adherence to wiring protocols. An exhaustive conformity evaluation assures not only regulatory compliance but also the well-being of people and property. Prior to acquiring a generator, one should execute a rigorous evaluation of its power capacity. This necessitates a meticulous evaluation of all devices and equipment that the generator will need to power, while contemplating their respective wattage demands. It is judicious to integrate a buffer, generally around 20 to 25%, to manage prospective future expansions or unanticipated spikes in power utilization. Underestimating the power requisite could lead to generator overload, causing breakdowns or harm to linked equipment. On the contrary, procuring an excessively large generator leads to needless expenditure and diminished efficacy. Performing a comprehensive power calculation is paramount in optimizing generator choice. Generators are available in myriad configurations, each characterized by distinct operational traits. Portable generators, valued for their maneuverability and convenience, are suitable for temporary power necessities. Stationary generators, engineered for enduring use, offer consistent power for vital systems. Inverter generators, renowned for their pristine power output and fuel efficiency, are favored for sensitive apparatus. Comprehending these varying types allows for an informed decision based on unique power requisites. Furthermore, considerations like automated transfer switches for seamless power conversion during disruption should be accounted for. Generator maintenance is essential for guaranteeing peak performance, reliability, and durability. Recurring inspections, including oil evaluations, coolant checks, and filter sustenance, are imperative. Following the manufacturer's guidelines for upkeep schedules helps to stave off probable breakdowns and expands the operational lifespan. Moreover, it is advisable to institute a log for monitoring maintenance activities and tracking performance trends. Consistent maintenance not only maintains the generator's functionality but also diminishes the likelihood of costly repairs. Safety is paramount in generator operations. Always operate generators in well-ventilated zones to avert carbon monoxide buildup, which is a latent threat. Connect equipment directly to the generator or employ hefty-duty extension cords, sidestepping overloaded circuits. Before refueling, allow the generator to cool down and shut it off, and always employ protective gear like gloves and eyewear. Installing carbon monoxide detectors and instigating routine safety drills boosts preparedness. Adhering to these safety conventions minimizes hazards and guarantees a secure operational setting. Generator installations are subject to local regulations and stipulations. Acquiring mandatory permits and authorizations before installation is crucial to ensure adherence. Complying with zoning statutes, noise constraints, and environmental mandates thwarts prospective fines and legal ramifications. Engaging with local authorities and building officials helps in understanding explicit regional requisites. Remaining abreast of regulatory modifications and adhering to them assures a legally sound and responsible generator implementation. The generator's placement influences its efficiency, accessibility, and safety. Locate the generator on a stable, level surface, far from flammable materials, and in a zone shielded from the elements. Sufficient space for maintenance and aeration is requisite. Taking into account proximity to the fuel reservoir and the transfer switch location optimizes the configuration. Properly positioning the generator not only augments its performance but also lessens safety risks. Generator fuel selections impact operational expenses, efficacy, and ecological effects. Gasoline generators are economical, yet they have constrained shelf lives and higher emissions. Diesel generators offer superior fuel efficacy and longevity but demand greater initial investments. Natural gas generators supply a consistent fuel source via existing connections, decreasing storage concerns. Propane generators offer versatility and extended shelf lives, but they necessitate safe storage solutions. The optimal fuel selection relies on aspects like accessibility, cost, and environmental targets. Fuel storage practices are pivotal for sustaining safety and preserving fuel excellence. Storing fuel in sanctioned containers in a cool, arid zone protected from direct sunlight averts degradation. Regular inspections for leaks, corrosion, and damage are imperative. Employing fuel stabilizers amplifies the fuel shelf life. Adhering to local regulations concerning fuel storage further mitigates environmental perils. Appropriately managing fuel guarantees dependable generator operation and lessens potential hazards. Regular testing of generators confirms their functional condition and readiness during power failures. Executing routine tests under loaded conditions evaluates their capacity to handle anticipated burdens. Tracking voltage, frequency, and engine performance during testing pinpoints possible glitches. Keeping meticulous records of testing outcomes permits the detection of patterns and preemptive actions. Performing consistent testing instills faith in the generator's capability to deliver consistent power when needed. Generator noise levels are a consideration, specifically in residential or noise-sensitive vicinities. Sound dampening traits like enclosures, silencers, and vibration isolation lower noise pollution. Complying with local noise ordinances and contemplating the generator's positioning lessens disruption. Sustaining the exhaust system and attenuating vibrations further ameliorates noise emissions. Proactive noise management enhances peaceful environments while guaranteeing adherence to regulations. Generators have ecological ramifications that should be considered. Emissions from generator operation add to air pollution, specifically if gasoline or diesel is utilized. Regular maintenance, emissions control technologies, and the utilization of alternative fuels curtail environmental impact. Appropriately disposing of used oil, filters, and batteries avert soil and water pollution. Adhering to ecological protocols diminishes the generator's ecological imprint and encourages sustainable practices. Generator costs extend beyond the initial acquisition expense. Fuel, maintenance, repairs, and insurance augment the entire cost of ownership. Calculating these continual expenditures alongside the generator's lifespan facilitates shrewd budgetary planning. Investigating energy efficiency, opting for durable models, and sustaining preventive maintenance minimizes long-term costs. Performing a thorough cost analysis guarantees that the generator remains a financially sensible option across its lifespan. Properly grounding a generator is paramount for safeguarding against electrical perils. Joining the generator's frame to a grounding rod or the building's grounding system diverts fault currents and lessens the possibility of shocks. Employing ground fault circuit interrupters provides supplementary shielding. Verifying that the grounding system adheres to local electrical codes guarantees safety and safeguards equipment from electrical surges. An automated transfer switch streamlines the shift between utility power and generator power during interruptions. This device automatically detects power failures and initiates the generator, supplying seamless power to critical circuits. Implementing an automated transfer switch eliminates the requirement for manual intervention, lowering downtime and safeguarding delicate equipment from voltage fluctuations. The transfer switch needs to be appropriately sized for the generator and electrical system to guarantee safe and trustworthy operation. Surge protection guards against voltage spikes that can harm linked equipment. Installing surge suppressors at the generator and distribution panel averts damage from lightning strikes and power surges. Guaranteeing that surge protection devices adhere to safety standards enhances protection. Surge protection constitutes an essential element of generator installation, safeguarding vulnerable electronics. Monitoring generator performance is critical for pinpointing potential problems and maximizing efficacy. Employing remote monitoring systems offers real-time insights into parameters like voltage, current, fuel consumption, and engine condition. These systems issue alerts for anomalies, enabling preemptive maintenance. Routinely analyzing performance data aids in optimizing generator operation and lessening downtime. Effective performance monitoring guarantees reliable and economical power generation. Generator size must be carefully evaluated to fulfill explicit power requisites. Undersizing leads to overload and equipment impairment, whereas oversizing leads to wastage. Performing a comprehensive power audit, contemplating future expansion, and choosing a generator with ample capacity is critical. Consulting with electrical experts ensures precise sizing and maximizes efficiency. Fitting generator size guarantees dependable power supply without needless expenditure. In conclusion, generators constitute crucial instruments for assuring power continuity during disruptions. Comprehending the intricacies of generator technology, installation, upkeep, and safety empowers individuals and enterprises to make judicious choices and assure trustworthy power for vital applications. Adhering to best practices and regulatory stipulations optimizes generator performance, longevity, and safety.